Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us here tonight on the Fort Rose Radio Show. Let's see, a couple of guys with me tonight here, a couple of the usuals. So we got Sarge up there in the corner. I don't know if that's Sarge, though. I think it's an imposter. He's got that caterpillar on his face. I'm not sure who that is. We'll see if it sounds like Sarge. Sarge, are you with us tonight?
Oh, I'm definitely with you. It's a magic carpet. That's what it is. And that's where I'm leaving it right there.
Okay. Let's not get into that conversation at the moment. And yeah, so we don't want to go there right now. And then let's see, to his left. Well, it's my left. It might be your right from where you're sitting. It might be on the bottom. I don't really know, but he's up there. The one, the only, the man, the myth, the legend, Chris B. Bacon.
What's up, everybody? Hope everyone's having a great evening.
Best name in the business, by the way. I've gotten messages saying that you have the best name in the business, by the way. So people love that name.
Because he's sizzling. That's why.
There you go.
Because he's sizzling. He doesn't fry bacon naked, but that's his name, that's for sure. That we know of, he might fry bacon naked. I don't really know. He's never told me he does, but anyway. And then another guy joining us down there on the bottom. He's got a blue on his screen right now. That would be Double Dirty Big B. And he's double dirty because why? Why, Big B? Why?
Because it's dark dirty. We get dirty.
Sometimes it gets a little dirty on this show. That is correct. And, of course, this is J-Mac here talking to you. But let me introduce you to the guy who needs no introduction because he does the introductions himself. He is our celebrity now. Done some great things. Why don't you give yourself an introduction there, Callan McClurg?
Good evening, gents. Thanks for the invite. It's a pleasure and privilege being on the program tonight, and it's great to see or hear all of you guys tonight on this Monday evening.
All right. And of course, we're going to start.
Wow.
I know. It's the reason I asked him on here, really. So we're going to start tonight by talking with Callan because he got to do something that none of us may ever get to do. I've not gotten to do that part. I've done a little bit with the women's football team, but that's not as big as what he got to do the other night. And Callan, I'm gonna let you take that away. What was that experience like? So tell us what it was first off, and then tell us what it was like.
Well, J-Mac, I thank you so much for the chance to come on here and join the program and be able to share this because, this is, I think I wrote this and I said this last night actually here on Coast to Coast about this being the biggest or single biggest event I've done in my 13-year announcing career, which began back in my freshman year in high school. But on Wednesday last week, I had the opportunity to actually fill in as the in-stadium announcer for the Los Angeles Angels of Major League Baseball in their game against the Houston Astros. And that was something that, obviously has been kind of a day that I've long been working towards and building something towards over the past, several years. And again, the past decade, past 13 years. And, it was kind of a fortunate stroke of luck that it happened to come at a time where both their main public address voice and their backup were both already booked with schedule conflicts on their schedule on Wednesday. And having known a few people who work for the Angels organization in the in-game entertainment game operations department, that's what led me to this opportunity last Wednesday.
All right. And I was kind of curious about how that happened, but you said they were both out at the same time. That's interesting that it happens that way. But sometimes it's how we get our big break, right? We take you look at some guys in sports that wouldn't be who they are without an injury to a starting quarterback, and
True.
that's number 199. I mean, that's always remembered as far as that goes. But man, what were you nervous at all right before like that first announcement happened?
Oh, most definitely. I actually went to the game Tuesday up at Angel Stadium, and I was, in the press box working with Michael Araujo, who's the main Angels public address announcer. And he was basically, doing his job, but also kind of, sharing tidbits with me about how they run the show up there at Angel Stadium. And again, working with so many great people. And, the nerves didn't really hit until probably when I got up on Wednesday morning and I actually took the train, because I think if anyone knows about Southern California or California in general and how notorious the traffic is across mainly the southern part of the state, though, and taking the Amtrak up, and you're able to look out the window and stare at the ocean almost the entire route up to your destination, and trying to pass 2 hours of time while reading all of your comments, J-Mac and Sarge and Tim Hendricks, who's over in Italy enjoying his vacation with his family, and of course Big B, and then trying to also piece together the lineups, piece together the rosters mainly, and just trying to find ways to kind of keep the heart rate down. And staring at the ocean usually helps when you're on that 2-hour trek from here to Anaheim. And then I got to the ballpark got to the station around 2:10, made the short walk over from the station to the ballpark, and kind of, began taking things all in, because, I'd gone to the stadium so many times as a youngster. I wrote that my first ever major league game of any type was actually in Anaheim when the Angels were still owned by Disney, and it was Edison Field back in 1998. So I was about 3.5 going on 4, and I saw my first game. So about 2:30, I get to the ballpark, get inside the press box, and that's kind of when it kind of began to hit me a little bit, other than watching the Angels take batting practice and watching Ohtani and Trout go about their business and watching even the Astro guys go about their business. But, getting on track, though, about when 5:50 hit, though, and they began rolling and we started the pregame show, the nerves did really come. And normally I'm not one who usually gets like that type of nervous. Like, it's more like nervous excitement. Like, I'm going to be jumping on the mic here and, talking to the fans. But then it's magnified, I think, by 1,000, maybe 10,000 at this rate, when now you're opening up the mic and talking to a major league audience in regards to, Major League Baseball, the NBA, the NHL, Major League Soccer, and especially, for an organization, that to me personally holds a lot of weight because of that being the first major league club I remember seeing. So, I will admit that at the start it was a little bit, sluggish, because I was just trying to get those nerves out and stuff. But, I think I got more nervous excitement once I got to announce the lineups, because like now you're announcing Altuve and Bregman and hearing the fans booing because of what, of course, had gone down in 2017. But announcing all those names, whether that they're stars like Altuve and Bregman on the Astros, then being able to announce the Angel players and, announcing Shohei Ohtani as the leadoff hitter and the starting pitcher. Like, I never would have thought I'd be saying that in an American League ballpark. And then, sadly, Trout didn't play because he hurt his back the night prior. But still, though, announcing those names, though, and then, I get to announce the anthem singer and then bring the team out and introduce the defensive lineup. But once I got to, announce, Altuve leading off the first inning, then that's kind of where I settled in, because that is just like any other game I've done. College baseball, Little League baseball, high school baseball. Once you get into the actual game, now it's all downhill from here, because you've announced guys so many times over the past 13 years. It's just a bit more magnified, because now you're doing it with 27,803 people watching in the stadium, and these are the best baseball players in the world, though. And some guys, other than minus what people may think about Altuve and Bregman, but perhaps guys who could be in the hall one day, like Ohtani. Because again, we've not seen a guy like him do what he's done in our time, though. And I think the most rewarding part about the whole thing, though, was, mainly just being able to do it for, really, and again, I'm not saying just to blow smoke, but again, a real, I feel, first-class organization.
Yeah, absolutely. Sarge, do you have a question for Callan?
Yeah. So while we're doing announcing the roster, whose name did you have the hardest time to pronounce?
That's actually a very good point, because there was one guy, Aledmus Diaz was one of the guys I was a little sketch about, because I would, because I read things one way and sometimes it doesn't register right away. Again, being dyslexic doesn't help the cause. But actually, JJ Matashevich was the one who was a little bit hairy, but it looked like a guy who was like, you know what, this looks like a hockey name. Like, this is where like other experience comes into play, though. And thankfully, and that was mainly the whole goal of the night, was to not get anyone's name wrong. And thankfully, everyone's name was basically straightforward. But thankfully, Angels PR was great. The Astros PR was great about, cleaning up some stuff. Baseball Almanac, Baseball Reference is always a good spot to go, though, too, because they at least put those in there phonetically. So just like in perspective, I do this a lot, though, regardless of what level it is, though. But if you can tell, though, and again, my background doesn't help, though, but a lot of times I write everything in phonetically. So if you were to zoom in or what have you, so everyone's name for the most part is written in, phonetically for the most part, because it's just a way for me to remember how guys' names are said. So literally, JJ Matashevich was probably the one guy who was the most, quirky of them on the Astros. Then with the Angels, everyone was pretty straightforward. Again, Ohtani, obviously, but that was more of the thing that my boss had told me, is like, it was like, in a way, if screw ups happen, don't worry. I just want to get the names right. That's more important to us than anything else at this rate.
Sure. All right, Big B, do you have a question for Callan while he's here with us?
Being, you took the train, and did any part of your day just seem like it was dragging on longer before the start of the game, or how did the train ride all feel and stuff?
The train ride up was nice, and I kind of got accustomed to that, Big B and the rest of the crew. I got really accustomed to the train trip because last hockey season, so the 21-22 season, or 2021 season, the Gulls had played the whole home schedule in Irvine, California, which is roughly halfway between San Diego and Anaheim. And I got very used to the travel of going from San Diego to Irvine, getting off there and going to Great Park Ice or to the hotel I was staying at for those 22, 24 days out of the year. So that part was not really as, as difficult as I thought it may have been. But I think the main part was just more of just trying to go to sleep, honestly, the night beforehand, because I'd gone up there and then got back home. My parents came and picked me up at the ballpark, and then we drove back home to San Diego. We probably got back into town roughly around 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning. Then I tried to go to sleep, and then, toss and turn, because I was kind of, in a way, maybe overthinking a few things. But, with the train travel, maybe a little bit, with perhaps it dragging a bit, because there were a couple times where they had to stop because of maybe there was some other traffic, because there's certain parts, just kind of going off tangent for a bit, but there's certain parts, though, on the route up to, wherever you're going, up to Los Angeles or up to San Luis Obispo, where the Amtrak Surfliner stops, there's a lot of pinch points where it bottlenecks and becomes one train lane, basically. So you have to wait for someone to leave or go or what have you. But it's mainly up in Oceanside and maybe up towards Santa Ana and parts like that. So bits and pieces dragged. I think maybe me getting there so early in the day, around, like I said, 2:30, I got to the ballpark, but then sitting there and, able to take in batting practice, kind of get my, stuff organized, read over the script, make some adjustments, write in stuff that had to be written in phonetically. And then I think maybe the one that dragged on more so, Brandon, honestly, was probably waiting for the lineups. But unlike maybe my experience with Little League or high school or college, the lineups are out 2.5 hours, 3 hours before game time. So I had enough time to look them over, write them in, maybe double check a guy or two, okay, it's Matashevich. Okay, let's just go, let's go with that, and write it, and then writing everything in, and knowing my luck with how my penmanship is able, and just, take your time, write it in, you don't have to rush, and, because a lot of times I feel that way, and it's not very fun, because a lot of times maybe, I get a lineup that's like right before I have to start reading stuff and what have you. But at least though I think that Major League Baseball makes it a point of emphasis to make sure that the lineups are in at a decent time,
Yeah.
where all the media has them, TV, radio, statisticians, what have you. So, taking my time, filling it all in, and then, double checking, triple checking, making sure, okay, Ohtani's leading off, like just for example, I was like, okay, Ohtani's pitching. Then I made a note to myself, though, that when he comes out of the game, he's going to go in and after he pitches, he's going to become the DH. So I made a note of that. So like, okay, Ohtani's pitching / DH, Ward in center, Renjifo's at second, Walsh is at first, Adell's in right, VR's at third, Stassi's catching, Marsh is in left, Velasquez is at shortstop, and just kind of making sure though that all that was in the right order, because sometimes I forget, even though I've played the game, I've announced the game, that sometimes you forget the numbers sometimes, but thankfully that they were all done, P, CF, second base, what have you. So that was more, and then probably I'd say what dragged on more was probably the build-up to actually beginning the pregame festivities, though, with like, batting practice concluding, finishing eating dinner, pregame meetings, writing in stuff again, making sure that my folks got into the ballpark okay, my friends got into the ballpark okay. But, bits and pieces dragged. But other than that, though, not much dragged on, honestly.
All right. And Mess Around, you're with us now. If you can hear us, you got a quick question for Callan?
I think he's messing around right now, so.
Dude.
He might be.
There we go. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, that's better. Did they say if they're going to invite you back in the future to announce again, or is that just a one-time deal?
For right now, honestly, I have the first one out of the way. So if it ever does come up, absolutely, that would just have to be a similar type of ordeal with both announcers being away from it. But they have me now in the system, and again, thankfully, I once again thank Davin Mask so much, because Davin and I worked together with the Ducks for a bit when he was there doing in-game presentation, in-game entertainment. And the times that the Gulls have played their preseason games up at Honda Center, I always worked directly with him. So this was pretty much, nothing new. It's just that we were doing baseball, not hockey this time around.
All right. And last question is going to go to Crispy Bacon. What do you got for Callan?
Yeah. Was there? I guess when you looked at the roster, did you think that, oh man, I'm about to announce this player's name, or like a oh wow moment?
Definitely Ohtani. I mean, Altuve and Bregman, of course, are also two. But I don't really think much about, the fan reaction in that instance, because I'm, just dialed into what I'm doing. But still being able to say Altuve and Bregman's name though, regardless of anyone's thoughts about what happened in 2017, though, but how those guys are still, some of the best athletes out there. But definitely I would go with Ohtani. Trout would have been a nice second if he was playing, or if he would have pinched hit maybe later in the ball game. But I certainly lean towards Ohtani, not Angel bias, but just for the sake of what he's done for the game, though, single-handedly. And I think anyone on this panel who's a baseball fan would definitely agree about what Shohei has done, again, as a two-way player, what he's done for the organization, despite the record that they have right now, but how he's gone out there every fifth or sixth or seventh day and thrown and led off, and he's DH'd, and he's done what he's done so far. So definitely I would go with Ohtani being the main one. I would throw Altuve and Bregman in there, though, for sure, because those two guys, again, they're out there for a reason. Even Phil Maton, a former Padre, I would throw that one in there as well. But definitely, I think to top it out, I'd go Shohei for sure with it, because I think I have more video from friends of mine who were at the game of me announcing his name more than anybody else in my Google Drive right now, honestly.
All right. Okay. Well, we had Callan on. We have some questions. He's going to stay with us.
Yes.
And after the break, we're going to get a little trivia, maybe talk a little bit about life and some other experiences. So, Chris, run the ads, please.
Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry, 24/7 shopping available. 160920 is the code. Show her some love, like she showed us.
All right, thanks for those. And real quick, something near and dear to my heart. If you have a teacher that's close to you, please go to TikTok, Teachers Wish List, and help them out. They have to supply all the stuff for their classrooms that they shouldn't have to. That school does not really give them anything for that, and so please go on and help out a teacher if you can. Find it on TikTok. Go to @Teachers Wish List on TikTok. So please do that if you can. There, everyone's back. Sorry, a little bit of issues on my end tonight. I hope it's not affecting anything much. So we'll do the best we can. So I'm not sure the internet is bugging out here tonight. It's probably because it's too hot, to be honest.
The amount of times I've had that happen, it sucks. Believe me.
Yeah, so. All right, so I want to play a quick game, a quick trivia game here. And Callan, being our guest, will get to go first. Now, I saw something earlier. It's basically, it broke down NFL teams and the amount of wins that they have in the last 25 years. Okay? So this goes back to 1997. So it's kind of a numbers game. But I will shout out a team, and you tell me how many wins you think they have in the last 25 years.
Okay.
Sound fair?
All right.
Wait, what's the rules again?
Okay.
He's gonna name a number. He's gonna read out a number, and we guess the team of how many wins they got.
Okay.
I'm going to give you the team, actually, Chris, not the
Oh,
number.
Okay.
So last 25 years, let's go. You know, Callan, let's start with this one. This is your hometown, and they kind of left you, but let's go with the Chargers.
Oh man, that is not one of those welcomes to a program, man. I don't know what is. Oh God, 25 years. I mean, the song lyrics I sing is 60 years of losing continues on and on. So I don't know. I'll go. God, 25 years. Holy cow. Well, I'm trying to remember about it. There was multiple years where they had 10 or more wins when they were still here. I'm trying to think like 06, 07, 08. When, goodness gracious.
Great balls of fire.
Yeah. I'll go 195 because I have no idea.
I don't know. You know, sometimes on this program, you just say something. I know Sarge does it all the time. You hit that. You actually got that right on the head. It's 195. I'm not even kidding.
Like Sarge just texting thing last week.
Stupid New England.
New England, yeah.
Yeah, right. Okay, Chris,
Yes.
423. Oh,
Washington.
Oh.
$350.
No.
Are you talking attendance or wins?
Yeah. I mean, keep in mind.
Wow,
so-
Brandon.
So 25 years to get to
No,
even
that
get to
was-
250 wins, you'd have to average 10 wins a season. So,
No, that was how many quarterbacks they went through so far.
oh, okay.
Oh,
We're not talking about the Bears.
So actually, it was 170 for Washington. I will tell you, by the way, to make this just slightly easier, there's only 3 teams in the last 25 years that have averaged 10 wins a season. Only 3.
New
10 or
England.
more.
Okay.
Green Bay.
Green
We'll
Bay.
get back. We'll get back to that because I'm sure you guys can pick those out. But
Yeah.
let's see. We'll go to
What's up,
Sarge.
Brown?
Sarge, we'll give you the Giants.
Oh.
69.
Come on, porn stash, man.
Remember, they had some good years in there.
A couple of
so,
Super Bowls were in there.
And
420.
No, I mean, Jesus.
Okay. In all seriousness, I'm gonna go 169.
It's 193. So not too far
Oh,
off.
you went
actually.
far off.
Far up. You're in the ballpark. I'll give you that.
You're in the ballpark. Let's see. So we'll go to mess around next. Mess around. You get the Las Vegas Raiders.
The Raiders.
I'm gonna go low. I'm gonna say like 190.
It's actually lower than that. It's 163. It is.
I was going to say, you have to factor in quite a few single-digit win seasons for a while there.
Right. Okay. Big B, you're gonna get the Cardinals.
Oh,
Ooh,
Arizona.
25 years, huh? Okay.
Jeez.
Yeah.
They are what we thought they were.
Great
You want
quote.
to crown their ass.
We'll go. God, that's some crap years there. I'll go 87 wins.
Ooh.
175 actually.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because they
I
had a couple
will.
playoff runs.
So also to help you out, there is no one on this list less than 100. So
So even the Browns?
Browns?
no team.
What?
Even
The
Browns.
Lions?
And isn't that funny,
Detroit?
Callan? Because the next team that was coming up for you is the Browns. So
Oh goodness.
they've been a team since '99. How many games
Okay,
have
yeah,
they won since
gotta remember
99?
that. Got to remember that it's been 99. I think they've had more quarterbacks than they've had wins probably in 25 years. That's right. I will go 110.
Ooh, close actually. They've had 120 since '99.
Sheesh.
And
Well, they had
they
an offer.
They are the lowest on the list. With
Wow,
120
yeah.
wins.
Oh, wow.
Well, you gotta remember they had an 0-16.
they had the offer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. So Chris, you're next.
Yep.
You get the Detroit Lions.
Oh,
Speaking of an 0-16 team, 170.
No, 144.
that's come on. I mean, you're still in the ballpark.
Yeah.
They have the third least amount of wins in the last 25 years, by the way.
Oofa.
And of those teams, the only two teams. Oh, I can't wait. We'll get back to that.
The only teams
Sarge.
are Team A and Team B.
Yeah, right. Sarge, the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Oh,
Ooh, man.
They've
I
had
did
a
say
few-
210.
250. They're one of three teams that have averaged 10 wins in the
Wow.
last 25 years. Yeah.
Big Ben was injured most of those times, anyway. So.
That is
Yeah.
true.
Mess around. You get the Denver Broncos.
$225.
Ooh.
Not bad. I'll give you that because other than Callan's right on the head, that's the closest we've had. It's actually 226.
Oh, man.
There you go.
I just threw that number out there too.
Big B, you get Philadelphia Eagles.
Philly. 169.
Yeah.
Not even close. 217.
Really? Wow.
Couple Super Bowl runs in there too,
Yeah.
Yeah, screw them.
including Denver.
Including in Denver. Let's see. So crispy bacon, you
Yeah.
get. Oh wait, no, we're back to Callan, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Are we?
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Nope.
back to Callan. So Callan, Indianapolis Colts.
Couple Super Bowls in there with Manning. I'll
Maybe,
say
yeah.
200.
I'd think that's a little low.
236. 236.
Okay.
And I think they've been only to one Super Bowl, I thought.
No, they
They've
won
been
one and
two.
lost one. They beat Chicago
Yeah,
and they
one
lost to New Orleans.
Oh, yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Who did they beat again, Callan? I didn't hear you.
Chicago.
Had to bring it up, didn't you?
Speaking of-
Okay.
Sexy
Okay, well-
Rex couldn't get the job done, sadly.
Well,
That
technically,
was
they,
Chicago Bears, right? That what we're saying?
Rex Grossman is our quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of
Next
Chicago,
Rex, baby.
that's the next team on the list. Crispy Bacon, you get Chicago.
Hey.
280.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh,
No,
That's it. It's too high.
you were only off by 100. It's 185.
I tried.
Sounds legit. Seems
Um,
legit.
Sarge, you're next, and you get the Houston Texans
Since 2002.
since 2002.
I thought they came in 2000.
Nope, 2002.
but they still have more wins than the A's attendance. I'm gonna go 132.
Close, 139.
Oh, ha,
So
I was
what I was-
closer than John.
So real quick, we'll get that. What I was saying before about the Detroit Lions is they have 144 wins in the last 25 years. The only two teams that have less wins than them are the Browns, who weren't a team until 99, and the Texans, who weren't a team until 2002.
Well,
That's
they-
Jacksonville has
they-
more wins than those guys?
Jacksonville has more wins than those guys.
Wow.
And they
But-
came in what, 98, 99 they came in?
95.
95.
Wow.
Yeah.
Same year as
Even
Panthers.
Carolina, even Sardis Panthers have more, huh?
Even
And
Sarge's
they came in the
Panthers
same
have
year.
Wow.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
we have Jake Delhomme. That's why.
All right, two more. We got two more for Mess Around
All right.
and Big B. So, Mess Around, you get you get Sarge's Panthers.
More than the Bears.
He's on mute.
I got you. 155.
Nope, Sarge was right. It is more than the Bears. It's one more than the Bears. It's 186.
Got him right where we want him.
Yes.
All right, Big B, the last one's for you, and that one is the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, I figured you were going to give me that one. Well, I can tell you that span they have not had the Super Bowl, even though their fans think they have.
Or playoff wins.
I'm going to go with even 200.
Pretty close, 210
Oh,
in the
wow.
last 25 years. So, interesting. Just throw a couple others out there. The Vikings were at 214. The only two other ones that have averaged 10 wins, you guys had those earlier. It was the Patriots at 281 in the last 25 years, and Green Bay with 255. So,
Sheesh.
yeah,
Who had the most wins in the last 25 years?
most wins the
Patriots.
Patriots with
Patriots.
281.
Oh, yeah.
What about the Jets?
Holy cow.
I'm kind of curious because they had a couple of good years in the early
Yeah.
2000s.
They had a lot of those like close but no cigar years with Mark
Yeah.
Sanchez.
The
Mark
Buffalo.
The Jets are at 183.
Wow.
Yeah.
They almost made it to the Super Bowl one year.
The other team that surprised me actually was Baltimore.
The Ravens.
The Ravens have the fifth most wins in the last 25 years. Does that
I thought
surprise
we were
you
talking
at all?
about the Colts.
Okay, Isaiah.
No, they were actually the Baltimore Colts.
I know they were.
Yeah.
But the
And, well,
Ravens,
with Baltimore, that includes what, 2 or 3 Super Bowls? 3?
I
three
think
Super
two.
Bowl runs,
Yeah.
yeah, and they yeah.
Two.
Three,
Yeah.
two. I think they went to 3, but they won 2. But
That sounds
they
right.
won 2.
But they have the fifth most. They actually have
Wow.
229. 229 in the last
Dang.
25 years. Yeah.
Well, you had Ray
kinda crazy.
Lewis.
And the Jaguars actually, there's 4 teams below them. They have 167 in the last 25. The
Where were the-
Raiders, the
Where were the
Raiders,
Titans?
Titans 212.
Dang.
What about the
What about the
Bungles?
Texans?
Let's say it one more time.
Texans.
Texans 139. They're the second worst.
How about Tampa?
Tampa is 191, but keep in mind that they've won, 36 of those in the last 4 years.
And I was just going to say that they had back-to-back 0 seasons when they became a club in '76, running the creamsicle look back in the day.
Creamsicles! I love them.
Bucko Bruce.
Where were the Chiefs?
The Chiefs rank 8th. They had 221. Yeah. So, yeah. Pretty interesting stuff. I have a question for Callan because he's a big baseball guy.
Okay.
I want to get your opinion on this. How ridiculous is Rob Manfred that if the All-Star game is tied, now the winner of the home run derby is the league that wins the All-Star game?
Well, I think what I read actually, and I think Adam actually dropped it in our intergalactic coast to coast group chat, is that I think they're going to pick 3 guys to have a home run derby if the game's tied after 9 innings.
Yep.
I mean, we could go back 20 years to the 2002 game and just do it that way and just end the game in a tie again. I mean, it's not like anyone cares about the result now that it's an exhibition game because, the old anecdote of, this one counts, this one counts, this one counts, and the whole, ordeal of when I think the last game that was played for home field for the World Series was actually played here in 2016. So, I mean, it's the All-Star game. Like it's an overblown, overrated popularity contest. I'm gonna watch the game at a bar tomorrow with a couple of announcing colleagues, but at the same time, it's like, if you don't want to, put the time and effort into making it a ball game, then just end the game in a tie after 9 innings of play and forget the home run derby thing.
Still better than the Pro Bowl.
Yes, I agree.
Well, anything's better than the Pro Bowl, but I have to agree with John Alcorn on this one. Manfred is a clown.
Yeah, I think everyone on this panel agrees. He is.
Yep.
So, one other thing I wanted to bring up, I think I shared it in the group chat yesterday. It said Nolan Ryan's arm was so damaged by the first 5,000 innings of his career, he was only able to strike out 16 Blue Jays when he threw a no-hitter against them at age 44. I mean, what a cautionary tale for pitchers these days, right? Don't blow your arm out in your first 5,000 innings. But the guy Nolan Ryan was one of a kind, man. He threw, 7 no-hitters in his career?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's definitely a guy that I would have loved to have been able to pitch if I had a time machine. When he went to the Angels and kind of helped put that club on the map. And, I think I remember telling Brandon and the guys this kicking it yesterday or on Saturday or whenever the show was about doing the Angel game, and that I had blocked out the Padres for 5 straight days from Thursday until last Wednesday. And, I went back and there was like a 50th anniversary documentary I'd watched about, the whole Angel organization. And they had, Ryan and Frank Tanana in 2 Days of Crying back in the early 70s and how those guys went out there, and threw complete games like it was nothing. And now here we have guys going 5 innings, or they have bullpen days now because they're just trying to save guys' arms. And that is one guy I would have loved to have been able to watch, throw was Nolan Ryan, whether with the Angels or with Texas, with Houston. Again, 7 no-hitters, 383 strikeouts in one single season. I think a lot of his pitching records are safe because just starting pitchers aren't made like they used to be back when all of us were younger. Even when I recall best, seeing guys throwing complete games with ease back in the, late 90s, early 2000s. But, what can you do?
Yeah. It definitely has changed these days,
Big time.
that's for sure.
Big time.
Do you think, and anyone can jump in on this one, does anyone think that we'll ever see another pitcher get 200 wins? And I'm not talking someone that's close. I'm talking these guys, the newer pitchers, the younger pitchers that are coming up. Do we ever think anyone will get to 200 wins again?
Unlikely.
No, I cannot see it happen. The way that how baseball is more into analytics now,
Yes.
it's really changed the course how managers manage the game. Look at Clayton Kershaw. He was pitching a no-hitter and he was pulled.
It was a perfect game, actually.
It was a perfect
Oh,
game against the Twins earlier in the year,
Yeah.
and he got pulled
Yeah.
after 8 innings,
Yeah.
I think, or 7 innings.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be a huge uphill climb, and I really doubt it. I mean, I don't think we're gonna see a guy, guys, in our, I wouldn't say lifetime, but at least for the next, I'd say, decade or 20 years, we're not gonna see anyone probably get 3,000 hits probably for a long time here, honestly.
Yeah. We'll see one get to 3,000 strikeouts, maybe. That's insane. The game's changed in that way, too, where it's either
Yes.
strike out or hit a home run. It's just crazy. So I don't know. Quite interesting. But anyone else, real quick, I just want to remind, by the way, Sarge, jump to the NFL for a second. You guys got Baker Mayfield. I don't know how you feel about that, but I just want to point out that the Cleveland Browns will be paying Baker Mayfield $588,235 week 1 to try and beat the Cleveland Browns. That might be the most Cleveland Browns stat of all time, by the way.
Yeah.
I think it was a good deal for the Panthers, and heck, I mean, I think the Panthers on the payroll side is that like they're only paying $4.8 million on that contract, and Cleveland's paying the 10 point something else on that contract as well. But I don't think Mayfield is an elite quarterback. I guess I'm going back to that term again. But I see him as an above average quarterback and probably the best quarterback that the Panthers had since the 2015 Cam Newton.
I mean, he's
Okay.
a better quarterback than Sam Darnold, but watch
He
they'll
doesn't
pick
have the
Sam
leadership.
Darnold.
That's the thing. Like he has
No, but I'm just
arrogant.
saying productive wise.
You're just,
Arrogance isn't always bad, but
the way he does it, though, I don't think it. No.
that's true. That's
But
true.
our Super Bowl odds went up, so I'll take it.
You can always have Danucci. I mean,
Oh, God.
Well, I'll take the
That's
Nucci. I
true.
mean, heck.
Speaking of that,
Doesn't want it,
we got soon we'll have our fantasy football draft, and I've been instructed this year that Brandon isn't playing if I draft 85 running backs. So I've reduced myself. I promised Brandon I will only draft 84. I won't draft 85. Because they get that every year. We go into fantasy football, and I'll draft like 9 running backs and just keep them on my bench so that no one else can get them.
So who on this panel is going to Tommy Fam slap J-Mac when this happens? Like it's Tommy Fam and John Peterson.
Yeah, right. Warming up the arm in case they call me. The Panthers might need one. That's what Adam says. Who knows? Who knows? They're going to call it quarterback
never know.
next.
Yeah.
They might need all of us at some point next season.
They may.
well,
They might.
honestly, they probably could use a guy that can fake out a defender twice on the same play.
True.
Maybe mess around. They might get the call.
He'll
Slowest guy on the field.
be asleep when that call comes in.
Yeah. All right. Real quick, let's go around the room. Chris,
Yes.
what's one final thing you got for us? Give us a topic. Give us something to talk about. Ask a question. You know what? Actually, hold that thought. You know what we're going to do since Callan's here? Callan's never been able to be a part of this.
Old carpet.
We are going to do rapid fire. We haven't done that in a long time.
Oh,
Been a hot minute since we did that.
This is
It is-
going to be good.
In a minute.
We should all be able to ask Callan at least one rapid fire.
Okay, I'll ask you all one, and then everyone gets asked Callan one. How about that? I'll go.
Okay.
I'm game.
No, okay, all right. So I'm going to start with Chris. Chris, I'm going to ask you. Do you ever pick your nose when you think no one is watching?
No.
He likes an audience.
Why aren't you showing your face, Chris?
Like the Seinfeld episode where he gets caught picking his nose.
I pretty much know the answer to this next question with Sarge because I think we've all done this, but I'm still curious because I'm going to take it a step further. Have you ever hidden a snack so that no one else would find it and eat it first? And what was it?
Oh, heck yeah. I've done that. Yeah. Yeah, it was gummy bears. Mine was gummy bears. I threw that sucker in the freezer.
Right.
I'm not getting
Mess around. I got a good one for you.
Oh God.
Do you ever narrate your life inside your head like you were in a movie?
Usually in a Morgan Freeman voice too, all the time.
Oh man.
Definitely
Here's
me.
one. Big B, this might be the best question we've ever come up with.
Oh no. There's been a better one, and I'm gonna ask Callan it too.
Oh,
Okay.
great.
Well, here's the one. Have you ever had a crush on a cartoon character?
Oh, Jessica Rabbit.
Yes.
Great answer.
Love
Great
it.
answer.
That's the only answer I
Emily Feud,
think.
great
Yeah.
answer.
Yeah. And then I'll ask Callan one, and then you guys go around and ask him one.
Oh boy.
Callan. Have you ever caught yourself telling someone, when I was your age?
Boy. I'm 2 years away from being 30, so I think I probably have a couple times, honestly.
Back in my day.
Back in my day.
All right, you guys go ahead. We'll start with Chris. Ask away to Callan.
Yeah. Who would you? If both LA baseball teams were playing in your kind of game, who would you root for? Inside.
If both LA teams are playing baseball against each other,
Yeah.
It's the Angels for sure. For sure, the Angels. Absolutely, 100%. Screw the Dodgers. Sorry.
No one likes the Dodgers. No one likes the Dodgers.
Nobody likes the Dodgers around here, especially in San Diego. Believe me.
Sarge. Sarge, are you with us?
Yeah, I'm here. I have bad internet. Sorry.
That's all right.
Oh, is it my turn?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh. Hard or floppy?
I should have warned Callan. I knew one of them.
I was gonna ask that if you
One of
did.
them was going to do it.
Oh my goodness.
Man.
That's what you get, Callan, for being on the phone row. Crystal has to answer.
Oh, man.
Oh my goodness gracious. Oh man. I mean, I know where you're going, but like on the regular tangent, I do know what a floppy disk is, just in case you're curious. So I'll just say that and move on.
Oh, that's
I actually found one about a week or so ago somewhere in my house. I couldn't believe it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mess around. What you got?
Wet or dry?
Oh, that's another one.
Dry.
Yeah.
It's all crusted down.
All right. All right, Big B. What do you got?
All right. In honor of crispy bacon, you want your bacon hard or crispy or floppy? What do you like?
Extra crispy.
All right.
Extra crispy. Okay. Well, we're going to go around and give everyone 30 seconds final thought. Chris, give us a final thought for tonight. Make it insightful.
I guess just stay indoors if you can. don't
Stay
go
indoors.
out. Don't go out in the heat. Heat is.
In the heat, yeah.
Yeah.
I get that down in Texas for sure. Sarge.
Don't fry bacon naked.
That's insightful for sure. That might save your life along with some other very important parts. Also, mess around.
I got nothing.
Good.
All right, Big B, you always got something insightful to say.
Oh, God. Man, don't listen to Isaiah. I mean, that might be the best thing that everybody could listen to. But
Yeah,
have a good night, guys.
All in
And
agreement.
I'm going to give Callan the floor in a minute, but I got a couple of insightful things to say. So I want to remind you all that there are certain things you should not say in certain situations. So let me just tell you that if you're if your lady is mad, the best thing to do is not to put a towel on them and say, now you're super mad, because that does not.
I just saw that. Yeah.
Don't do that. I did that once before.
Don't do that. Yeah, don't do that.
Dude, I just taught that to my son tonight.
Now I thought of something, but we're done.
No, go ahead. Go ahead, Big B. We got
All right.
you.
You know, speaking of, J-Max brought this up. Get Callan's opinion. Do you lend something or do you borrow something?
Borrow.
Yeah. Okay, see, I'm saying, I was correct on that, by the way. And I gotta, so all right. Adam wants me to ask Callan this. He wants me to ask. We're trying to keep it a little cleaner on the show, so I'm going to say, sleep with, marry, or kill. Jennifer Aniston, Drew Barrymore, or Sandra Bullock.
What were the choices again? I'm sorry.
Sleep
with
with,
mom.
marry, and kill.
Wow, look how the
Jennifer
art
Aniston, Jennifer Aniston, Drew Barrymore, and Sandra Bullock.
I'll take Jennifer Aniston.
All right. So I'm going to give the floor to Callan. Callan, thanks for being on the show, man. It's always a delight to get to hang out with you and talk with you about experiences. But take it away. You got a couple minutes to just have the floor and say whatever you want to say.
No, thank you guys again for the invite. It's been kind of cool being able to talk about this experience. I really haven't been, it'll be a week come Wednesday, but it still really hasn't quite sunk in yet. I have a lot of footage I've got from either myself recording from the press box or friends of mine who were at the game. So, all this is going to be compiled into a little, YouTube clip, a little bit of a reel put up there just so like everyone can see it again. Cause I have a lot of stuff, mainly from me. Audio quality's a little suspect though, but I had some friends who were in the seating bowl actually getting video from their seats and whatnot. So I have, the lineups for both teams plus the Angel lineup. And I have a couple of, Ohtani announcements and some Altuve and Bregman announcements, which will be put together. But again, just once more, again, just a major thank you again to the Los Angeles Angels organization and to Davin Mask, Mandy Ortiz, and the entire crew for the chance to come and, fill the void for a day. Hopefully we can do it again sometime in the future down the road. But again, for it to be again, truly a first-class organization, a first-class experience again, with everyone going out of their way to make sure that you feel comfortable, filling in and whatnot. And for that to, again, be the first major league game for me was awesome. And I think more than anything else, again, I really want to, again, say thank you to the, everyone on the panel here, everyone from coast to coast and from Intergalactic or from, past networks who reached out and just kind of sent some good vibes and good positivity. It really, kind of in a way got me a little teary-eyed because, I don't really want to, see myself as an inspiration to people. But I mean, if people see that, then that's, that's par for the course for me. But, J-Mac reading, what you wrote and, Brandon and again, our good man, Tim Hendricks and Adam and, Dave and everyone with Coast to Coast, again, your support, means the world again. That was, something that, that's going to take a while for me to get out of my mind. It's going to be, a long time for that and whatnot. But believe me, there's a lot more coming with that. Again, as I said, with some footage, I'll be, trying to write and kind of put a bit of like a nice little blog story out about the experience, kind of recapping the whole ordeal and the experience and whatnot. And, trying to give you like almost that firsthand perspective of, working in Major League Baseball for the day. But, again, I thank you guys for the invite again, and please, folks, keep supporting these guys here at Coast to Coast, and they're pumping out content every day. I would love to say the same about Intergalactic right now, but we're in a holding pattern because, we're, just trying our best to, make sure we work around schedules. And, I'm getting back into the actual announcing season in August with, my colleges and the two, pro teams I'm working for, come August 13th, August 14th. But, if we get there. But again, I really thank you again, though, for the chance to come on here and, talk more about this again. And hopefully we'll be able to, hopefully I'll be able to kind of talk more about it as the rest of the week goes on, because I'm sure there's a lot of other people who want to keep hearing about this, believe me.
Yeah, I bet. And thank you for coming. And you are an inspiration to us. And like what Callan's talking about, like never give up on your dreams. All of you watching and listening tonight, like you're seeing lifelong dreams. All of us have ever wanted to do is be on some sort of show talking about sports, and here we are in front of you doing that. And
Exactly.
Callan took that a step further and got to do it with a professional team, which is still really effing cool, by the way. I can't tell you how cool that is to me. But thanks, everyone, for watching, listening, however you get that. Get your podcast, Anchor,
Yes.
YouTube. We're on TikTok. We're on Instagram, everywhere. Also, check out the Intergalactic Network, the Entertainment Network. They do a great job over there. That's Callan and then John, the two main guys over there, and they do a great job. So we will see you all again. We'll be on next Monday, 10 p.m. Pacific, like always. Until then, keep it real. We will see you all on the other side.
Bye, Felicia.